to start with the lab journey on Snowflake and also a little bit on the interface, widgets, and the user authentication and roles. So that's the link where you can register for the free trial account, signup.snowflake.com. This is posted in description section as well. So I'll just provide the details. Though I have already registered and created a trial account, I'll randomly put some details so that I'll make you aware what details are required. Optionally, you can provide your personal email address or you can provide your organizational email address, whatever is suiting you. Based on your expertise and roles, you can select whether you're a data engineer, data analyst, product manager, and you can select the country. As I click on continue, it will ask me what Snowflake edition I'm looking for. So you need to select the enterprise edition for this training session. Basically, it covers the 90 days trial where the features which we are going to cover for specifically for SnowPro certification, this enterprise would suffice. And then you need to select the cloud provider. As we saw, like Snowflake is cloud agnostic. It can sit on any of the cloud service provider. For this session, we'll select the AWS, and in AWS, we'll select the Canada Central. And then you can check all the terms and conditions. And then as you click on Get Started, you will get an activation mail on your registered email address. So I've already registered. The activation mails somehow look like this. So it will say you congratulations on getting started. And then you need to activate this account within 72 hours. So once you click on that click to activate button, you'll get an option to select the username or create the username and set the credentials for it. So I've already registered and created the user ID. Post that, you will receive a welcome notification mail from Snowflake. So once you click on this login to Snowflake, this link actually would be unique for the registered email address. So that's why from your email only you need to navigate to this trial account. So as you see, it is loading the console for me where I can provide the username and passwords. So this is the username that I have configured on the activation link that I got. So I have selected the username as Let's Know and I have set my password. So I'll do the sign in using my credentials. There you go. So as you see, that's my landing page of Snowflake. On the left hand side, you can see it shows me 30 days are left for my trial account. And on the left hand side, by default, once you log in, you will be assigned to an account admin role. So we'll talk on this role soon, but by default, you will see the account admin as the role that is set up at the login. And these are the different widgets, I would say, that are available on the landing page. So worksheets are nothing but these are the place where one can write the SQL queries to access the data. We'll talk in detail on worksheets part and dashboards. So dashboards basically allows you to create flexible displays of one or more chart in form of tiles which can be rearranged. So tiles and widgets are provided by executing SQL queries that return results in the worksheets. Again, dashboards also we'll discuss shortly. The core part that is the data. So if we see the hierarchy, how it is aligned in Snowflake, the topmost layer is the databases. So to start the journey, you create the databases and organize your schemas under it. So under databases, the second layer comes in Snowflake is the schema. And under the schema, what comes are the objects or the data assets that are the nothing but the tables. So that's how the hierarchy definition in Snowflake. We'll talk on the databases as well, and in the demo we'll create one sample database and then gradually we will get into some use cases that we'll pick during the training session. Then there is this marketplace. So basically it is for Snowflake customer where they can browse and consume the dataset made available by different providers. And marketplace, again, there are public providers and the personalized providers. So public providers, you can consider those as a free datasets that are available for querying. While personalized, these required reaching out to the providers to get the access to that. That's how the marketplace is. Now, as a part of this section, what we are going to discuss is user and roles. We'll discuss all the pointers, but as part of this section, we will limit our discussion for user and roles and access and identity. So if I click on user and roles here, you see, I can see two toggles. One is users, where I can see all the users that are created under uh, Snowflake account admin. And there are roles as well. So roles are nothing but by default, Snowflake has five main roles. As you can see, account admin being the topmost with the complete access to everything role. Here you see the hierarchy of the roles. So account admin, if you see, that's the topmost hierarchy. Under account admin, there is a security admin. So security admin would be the lower to account admin. So whatever roles security admin is assigned to, by default, account admin will have access to all those, and so on and so forth. User admin, whatever roles or accesses on the database or tables that user admin has, security admin will by default have those kind of roles. So it's an hierarchy, not like that the child will inherit all from the father, but it's a reverse thing. Whatever child is having, father must have that. That's little bit on roles, but the key learning pointers here is what is identity and access. So there is a difference in identity. So identity is about who you are, and while the access is what you're allowed to see. So if you can prove your identity, you are authenticated. If you can prove you have right to access, you are authorized. So key learning pointers here are there is a difference in authentication and authorization. So from the certification standpoint, you need to understand that identity is different, access is different, authorization is different, and authentication is different. The first step is to prove your identity, that is authentication. The second step is provide the accesses, and that is kind of authorization. So here onwards, we'll be switching mainly between two interfaces. One is the main, that is this one where it is intended for managing and viewing the objects, and the other one would be the worksheets. So worksheets where we can, which is used for running basically the SQL queries. So both the interfaces have object pickers. So object pickers, we call it, these are the hierarchical trees that allow you to find and select the object you want to work with. So here to conclude on the roles part and the accesses part, let's start our journey by creating a simple database. So database, as we said, it's the topmost layer in Snowflake. For the purpose of example, I will create some sample database. Now here you see I'm entitled to account admin role, and I'm creating this database as account admin itself. So maybe I'll create a database with name DemoDB. As I create this, you see, by default under DemoDB database, there are two schemas that are created. One is the information schema. So information schema is nothing but the collection of views that are more that contains the metadata information. So we, as a logged in user, we don't have access to edit it, drop it, or delete this. These would be the default views that will be available. Uh, but in public schema, we have option to delete it, or we can create number of objects under public schema, and we can define our own schema as well. But we don't access the information schema. It would be a by default and available in all the databases that we create. Now coming to the role switching, everything is driven in Snowflake through the roles. So here you can see I created DemoDB in account admin, and I can see 3, 4, 5 databases under this account admin. Now if I switch my role to some other, say suppose I switch it to, for an example, security admin. Security admin also maybe is having access to all the databases. I want to switch some lower data role, maybe sysadmin. Yeah. So now in sysadmin, you see, sysadmin has access to only three databases. while the account admin, as a topmost owner, has access to multiple databases. Even here, we cannot see the demo DB database that we created. Now, if I really want to, maybe I would say, the transfer the roles or transfer the ownership, how I can do it. I need to switch to account admin. Here the key is in Snowflake, you need to refresh once you are switching the roles. You need to refresh so that it is applicable at all the places. This will be more applicable once we explore the worksheets. But yeah, this is the key. Whenever you switch the roles, please refresh the URL. Now, what we want to do is we really want to transfer the ownership of this demo DB sample database that we created to sysadmin role. So here, if you click on this, there's an option to transfer the ownership. So this transfer to ownership will ask me whom do I want to transfer it. I want to transfer it to sysadmin. And once I transfer it to sysadmin, I can switch my roles now, and then I'll select the role as sysadmin. Okay, so here's the key. I need to refresh it. Now you see, once I refreshed it, I can see the demo DB here in sysadmin as well. And now you see here, I can see the schema. Now you may ask why there is no public schema available here. We transferred the complete ownership of that demo DB from account admin uh, to sysadmin. So here is also a catch. We need to explicitly go and transfer the ownership of schema as well to the sysadmin once you are transferring the database and schema if there is a need. Yeah, so for now to conclude, these are the takeaways from this session. The difference between identity and access, authentication and authorization, switching between the roles, and then switching the privileges of one database to other role is possible through the admin section under the through the data section under the database.